the news tonight. City of Windhoek secures 155 million Namibian dollar loan for new power substation to avoid load shedding.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening, I'm Isai Sipunga. In the news tonight, Rehoboth, a Namibian town with a rich history. Namibians advised to take their pets for grooming this holiday. Urban Harvest sends message of encouragement to local farmers. And Business on One, followed by tonight's sports news. First up, Rehoboth is the core territory of the Buster community, which still lives according to their paternal laws, which were enacted in 1872. Speaking at the Kalahari Media Familiarization Day, Samuel Hilunda, an independent tour guide from the Namibia Tourism Board, stated that Busters are closely linked to the town of Rehoboth and became identified as Rehoboth Busters or Rehobothers.
At the NTB-initiated Kalahari Media Familiarization Day, which included a tour of the town of Rehoboth, independent tour guide Samuel Hilunda explained the birth and history of the town of Rehoboth and that the town's name means street. He stated that by the 19th century, Busters had moved to the town of Rehoboth after trading land from the Nama people for cows.
Early or between 19th centuries, the Busters moved from Cape Town all the way to here. And then they bought this land from the Namas, they paid some few cows, and then they got the land. And then they wanted to make this land their own country, which wasn't possible. Roughly in Buster, he's really proud. And yeah. So over here you have the whole history, how they are all mixed, regarding the Simkubis, regarding the churches they were built, and most also, if you look where how they were also mixed with the German forefathers and all that. So over here you can basically see the whole history regarding Rehoboth and also the and how the town grows basically.
Hilunda said that a historic battle between the Busters and Germans took place in 1915 when German colonial forces attacked the Buster people who had fled to their last stronghold of Semkubis. The battle, Hilunda said, took only one night.
A big war broke out between the Germans and the Namas. The Busters. The Busters were actually, their stronghold was at a place called Semkubis. That's where the war basically took place. And the Busters were actually just a little bit afraid because the Germans have all the artilleries. Interesting enough is that the war only took place for one night or one day. And then the next day the Germans pulled back. All right, and that's just a little bit more about the war between the Germans and the Germans and the Busters.
Hilunda further said the Busters' population increased rapidly from an initial number of 333 in 1870 to 800 in 1874, and currently the number of the Busters in Rehoboth is unclear, but according to Wikipedia, there are 35,000 to 40,000 residents.
Growing up in a big family, there weren't always enough seats at the table, so we started eating on the floor so that we could enjoy our food and cokes together. I kept that tradition in my own family to remind us that the most important part of any meal is being together.
Pet owners this festive season with grooming services for man's best friend, the dog, as well as many other types of pets. The shop manager, Leandro Carsons, has advised pet owners to spoil their pets this festive season.
Shaving, bathing, perfuming, removal of ticks and cutting of your nails are among the special treats you can give your pet this festive season. The shop also cleans their ears and brushes their teeth. Dog grooming is normally associated with improving the appearance of a dog and with avoiding skin diseases. Getting your dog groomed makes them smell amazing, but it also helps with overall well-being and health. The manager of City Pets, Leandro Carsons, shared with News on One that excessive combing irritates the skin, so shaving their pet's fur is beneficial.
Our doggy salon, and I believe what makes us different from the rest, is the fact that we have a very strict security system with cameras and everything, and it's one of the areas that we focus on the most, is to make sure that they treat our customers' dogs right. And why I believe this is important is, especially during the warmer months in Namibia, it's important to keep their coats in a good condition so that they're not clogged up and feeling irritated. And if you keep that under control, they will also never get skin diseases or rashes or problems like that. So keeping their nails and their coat in a good condition is very important for your pet. The nails, I believe, is one of the areas, remember, that's where they walk, and especially if the yard is maybe not very neat, and they will get a lot of infections and stuff in their nails and their paws in general. So it's important to have them checked out. If you go to a doggy salon and they can't assist you, they will probably refer you to a vet like we do. And then, in that way, it's a good way to make sure your dog is in a good condition, especially their coat and their nails.
An employee of 7 years, Croretta Isaacs, told News on One that she has been caring for some of her customers' dogs since they were puppies.
We shave dogs, we wash them, we cut their nails, and we perfume, clean their ears, and we brush their teeth as well, and we dub them also if they have ticks on them. As you can see, it's summer, and a lot of dogs, they get hot. Some of them, they get hot a lot. And it's always good to shave them, because after that they feel much better. When they feel lighter.
City Pets will be open throughout the festive season, except the 25th of December 2022 and on the 1st of January 2023.
It's time for our special City Police segment. This evening's message from Sergeant Lahia Haitota focuses on ATM fraud.
ATM fraud, it's a fraudulent activity whereby a criminal steals an ATM card of another person and then they use it to withdraw money. So far, the types of ATM fraud that we have experienced, like in Namibia, are three. We have the card trapping. So this is whereby a criminal places a device on the ATM machine, and then when you go to the ATM to withdraw your money, you put in the card, then the card falls into the ATM machine. So what happens is that now you are putting in your PIN because you are now waiting for the money to come out. The money is not coming out, the card is not coming out. So then what the thief does is that they will approach you and then ask you to repeatedly key in your PIN. While you are doing so, they are memorizing it. So what happens is that the card won't come out. So then you leave the ATM thinking, no, maybe the ATM machine is having a problem. So once you leave, they then take your ATM card from the machine with the PIN already memorized. Then they go and withdraw money immediately. And then the second one, it's card skimming. This is actually a cloning device. So what happens is also affixed to the ATM machine. What happens is that once you put in your card in the ATM machine, whatever information or data you enter, it copies it, including your PIN. And then they can use it also to withdraw money. And the last one is cash trapping. This what happens is that they place an adhesive tape onto the cash hole. so that when you put in your card, you enter the PIN, the money doesn't come out. So then you think the ATM machine is either defective or that it has actually run out of money. And then just when you leave, then they come, pull out the tape and get the money, then off they go. There are so many ways how you can protect yourself. Is first of all, you should choose ATM card that is in a very familiar place, and the place should also be well lit and with a lot of movements. And once you approach the ATM machine, make sure that you scan the surrounding. When you approach an ATM, you find a person seated in the vehicle with a window open, or he's leaning against the wall somewhere. The moment you are approaching the ATM, they are also approaching the ATM. That already is very suspicious, because you found this person here, there was no queue. The moment you come close, they also come close to the ATM. And if you are in a queue, just make sure that you already have your card in hand. Don't, while you are in a queue, because you get distracted. While you are in a queue, don't be looking, for your ATM card from your purse or your wallet and so forth. And then also, if you see a person that is looking over your shoulder, that is trying to make conversations with you, just ignore. And then also, when you approach the ATM, scan it, check for suspicious devices on the machine that you are not familiar with. And when you put in your card as well, you see, when you put in your card in the machine, it's easy. It's like the card is swallowing your machine. So if you are putting it in and you are finding it difficult for the card to go in, do not force it in. Rather just cancel, inform the police, and then move on. And as well as do not ask help from anybody. There are some ATM machines now with technology. You find it's a touch screen. We don't have keypads anymore. Maybe you are not familiar with it. Rather go inside the bank and ask them to come show you, so that it's much safer. Do not trust anybody at all. And you should never also share PIN with anyone, or you should never write it on the card itself or anywhere on anything that is kept with the card. What you should do is that immediately, if you ever realize, for example, you go to the ATM machine, you put in your card, it doesn't come out. Or you put in your card, you enter the PIN, the money doesn't come out. The first thing that you should not do not leave that ATM machine. Also, do not let another person to come close to the machine, because that might be the person that either placed a device or an adhesive tape to get your cash or your card. What you should do is that call your bank immediately. Inform them of what happened, so that they can cancel the card and any transaction that you have made. And then you should inform the police as well. Call the police, inform them, go to the police, file a report. The same report is now taken to the bank for insurance purposes and claims and so forth. How to prevent ATM fraud? Be alert and mindful of your surrounding always. Scan the surrounding for suspicious characters. If you feel like something is off, there's a person watching you, or there's a person who's looking over your shoulder, or a person just looks like they are looking for something, you can easily detect these people. Call the police immediately. Do not even go near the ATM or withdraw money. Just leave. And then also have your ATM card ready. And then when you approach the ATM, visually inspect the ATM. You should look out for skimming devices. And then when you are also withdrawing money, the moment you put in your card, cover the keypad with the free hand. You know your free hand? Cover it with a keypad. And also, if people are standing in a queue, maybe on your right or your left hand, try to move your body to the side, just to cover the whole ATM machine, because some people they've studied this day and night. So as you are moving your hand, they can also detect what numbers you are pressing. So just make sure by all means that you cover it, so that they are not able to even guess what your PIN is. And take your time to complete your transaction. You don't feel like maybe I'm taking too long, people are getting anxious. No. Take your time, complete your transactions. Once you are done, make sure that your money and your card is secure by putting it either in the wallet, in your purse, in your handbag. And then when you leave, make sure also to check your balance. Check your balance and just regularly. If you also suspect any fraudulent activities or transactions that you are not familiar with, inform your bank immediately. Sometimes we make it a habit of we just rely on the SMS or the email that we get, and sometimes maybe you receive a large amount of money. You can't really keep up. So it's always good to go through your statement and check for those suspicious activities. And as I emphasized earlier, you should never share your PIN with anyone. Be it now the PIN of the card, be it now the PIN of the e-wallet that you have received, be it now maybe you are doing an online transaction, you know the OTP that you received, you should never share it with anyone. And I would just like to wish all us a Merry Christmas. We should enjoy our holidays, but as we enjoy, let us also just be careful. This is not only in Windhoek, it's all over the country. And I know sometimes we get caught up. We are so busy shopping, having fun, so we tend to be a bit relaxed. Just remember, these criminals are working 24/7. As you enjoy with your family, just be extra careful. Of course, the tips that we share, it's not really a guarantee that it won't happen, but by following these few steps, you can make it very hard for these people to scam you or to take your ATM card and so forth.
Jessica Lagranzi, Marketing Coordinator here for the Kostef Arts and Crafts Center in Swakopmund. We started our journey in 2009 already, and as part of
The owner of the Urban Harvest rooftop farm in Windhoek, Dean Spal, has encouraged horticulturalists to work tirelessly on improving production because there's still a lot that needs to be grown for the nation to be fed properly.
Spal told Agri on One that every farmer will experience growing pains when starting a business or a production plan. However, this should not discourage them as they are farmers, entities and experts in the field that can advise on more productive methods to use when farming.
For the new year, we have a lot of plans, a lot of great opportunities coming up. We will finish the implementation of our greenhouse here, as well as starting to implement trainings. So we can actually invite people here to our farm, upskill them, teach them how to do hydroponics, how to do aquaponics, agricultural technology in general, and then give them the opportunity to start their own systems should they so choose. We really would like to inspire all those trying to do their own venture, trying to be a farmer, trying to contribute to this nation's food sustainability. It's of extreme importance. We can do many things, but we cannot do those things without being fed properly. And so every little bit that somebody contributes, that somebody grows, makes a difference. And there are going to be growing pains along the way, but learn from these, engage from these, don't run away from these. Look for help, look for a mentor, look for assistance. These are available, and together we will grow.
The most recent intern at the urban farm, Rico Janse from Marintal, shared some encouraging words with Agri on One concerning why he chose to do agriculture.
I'm here from Marintal, studying here urban farming. I'm studying here about the aquaponics and hydroponics systems, different systems here. As you can see, there are a lot of ways growing plants here. So I just want to encourage the fellow young people that are trying to do this. They just do not give up, people. There is hope.
Urban Harvest will be supplying certain produce to restaurants at slightly lower prices during the Christmas period.
Enjoy Enjoy these fantastic payday savings at Clicks until the 9th of January. Buy Clicks 2-ply toilet paper 18 rolls, 2 for $104.99 per pack and 1 for $114.99. Save 20% on Pampers Premium Care Pants or Disposable Nappies Value Pack. And buy Clicks Extreme Power Dishwashing Tablets 40-pack, 2 for $198. Clicks. Feel good. Pay less.
Welcome to Business on One. The Bank of Namibia says the local economy has for over 5 years faced a bleak period marked by contractions, which is now a thing of the past after forecasting a positive growth last year, which will be sustained in 2022. The economy of the country was hit by a recession in 2015 and has since recorded a negative growth, which was further exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic in early 2020. BON Governor Johannes Kavagap assured Namibians during a stakeholder engagement in Oshana region that for a second consecutive year, figures projected by the central bank for 2022 show a growth above 3%.
Namibia is a country with credible plans and opportunities. Between 2015 and 2021, we had negative economic growth. Next year, we are forecasting a growth of 2.9%, and in 2024, growth of 2.5%. So you could see the Titanic is shifting towards more positive territory.
As the institution responsible for ensuring and safeguarding macroeconomic stability, BON has made adjustments to the monetary policy as a means to keep inflation under control.
Monetary stability is the best contribution by the Bank of Namibia in the long run for high levels of employment and sustained economic development. It is Milton Friedman who wrote that the best thing a central bank can do for any economy is to prevent it becoming the major source of economic disturbance.
The governor also gave an overview of the state of the global economy and said that while a recession is anticipated globally, domestic growth is expected to pick up in 2023. And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on business news.
I'm just going to do what I'm going to do for the weekend.
Yeah, we hit the streets as we catch up with Senior Oats.
I think my music is reaching people in a way.
Now let's have a look at some sports news. The Sosa Studio in Windhoek, which focuses on mixed martial arts, has evolved into a high-performance sports center. The Sosa Studio founder and coach Carlos Sosa expressed his joy to Sports on One, saying the center has the potential for new developments in the future.
Sosa Studios have now moved from their old premises to a new and bigger location in the southern industrial area near Pupkewitz Megabuild. Sport on One had an exclusive interview with founder and coach Carlos Sosa, who elaborated on the move.
We've come into a bigger location. It's almost 2,000 square meters under roof at the moment. We're still developing it. The phase one is done. We obviously got phase two that's going to come now with the gyms and the high performance equipment that's also coming in there. And it's made for the athletes. Eventually, we also need to change the name of the venue. It won't be anymore Sosa MMA. MMA will still be underneath the roof, but we need to call it another facility due to the fact of the athletes that we're going to attract. Because we are not only looking at the MMA athletes, We're also looking at the runners, the CrossFit people, all the kind of story that are coming into the venue. Even boxers, as far as even boxers and all the. So we're building a performance center for all these type of athletes and all the kind of story. And this is why it is what it is at the moment for now.
Sosa added that with the center's potential for hosting sport events and ample space, the Karate Federation has approached him to help host events as well as high-performance training sessions.
We're looking at, we need to go through that avenue to reach the top, as likes of UFC, Bellator, or any of those things. So we are looking at that, and we definitely at our stuff. We've got new guys coming up. We've got another about five guys that are coming in. Alonso's coming up. Stefan is coming up. The likes of Thomas is also coming up. We've got AJ that's also coming up. And next year when we go to the African Games, we only won't be 3 of us. We'll probably be around 10 to 12 kids going there, athletes going there to compete in that event. So the sport is growing in Namibia. So we're trying to develop it also. We've also got, I've also put time into guys from other districts, other regions, where they're coming and they're learning the art by me, and then they're taking it back to their clubs and obviously coaching them and all that kind of story. So that's how we're getting the sports out there.
The coach was also excited to reveal that the art of MMA is growing in the country and added that more athletes from his camp will participate in the upcoming African Games. Sosa also revealed that his athletes are currently in training camp in preparation for the Senior MMA Amateur World Championship, which will take place in Serbia early February next year.
It's pretty much a 6-day event, because obviously it starts with the youth to the juniors, to the seniors, and to all that, and it carries on. So it's almost like a 5-6 day event that's going to happen. It's in Serbia, in Belgrade. It's in February 2023. We're getting ready for that also. The guys are getting ready. Camps are getting ready. Boys are looking good. They're looking sharp. We're breaking away for 10 days. So obviously they're going to spend time with their family through Christmas and New Year. And then obviously we're regrouping in January to start. Then we only got 5 weeks after that to get ready for the camp. But it's been, like I said, it's been an amazing year.
Sosa was adamant that they will soon conclude a sponsorship deal for the new premises, which will help the center to do even more than it currently is.
That's all the sports we had for you, and that also brings us to the end of tonight's edition of News on One. Please don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. From me, Isai Sipunga, and the rest of the team, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Thank you for watching this show on One Africa. Because you are part of our One family, your voice is very important to us. Please take a moment to rate this show by scanning the QR code on your screen now, and you can stand a chance to win fantastic prizes every month. T's and C's apply.
Join Trezor every weekday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on the nation's favorite radio station, playing